Python is very famous for code one-liners. One-liners help us to write concise code, and they also reveal the good features of Python to you. In other words, Python one-liners, they're Pythonic. And one-liners many times use list comprehension, and as a result, they are faster than for loops. So with these things that are very interesting, let's look into Python one-liners. Hi, I'm Guru Rajan. How are you doing? Welcome to my YouTube channel to watch this series of videos on Python programming. Hi, let's look at Python one-liners. The first of the one-liners we will look at is to generate the list of prime numbers till 100. Now here I'm using the idea of list comprehension. As you can see, the outer for loop, the for loop here generates the numbers from 2 till 100. And then here there is a very subtle condition. So we look for all the numbers till the number selected in this for loop. For example, if the number selected in this for loop were 50, so this y for loop will go from 2 to 50, 2 to 49 in fact, and then it divides if x modulus of y not equal to 0, which means any of the numbers the inner for loop goes, if it is not divisible by x, which is the outer for loop, x modulus of y not equal to 0, which means it is not divisible by y. If all the numbers that are generated by y are not divisible by x, if all of them are not divisible, then the number generated in this for loop is a prime number, and then that prime is appended to the list, right? So the outer for loop generates all the numbers, and then the inner for loop generates the numbers which we are going to divide here. And because we are starting from 2, so the prime is started from 2 only, and here also the number that is divisible, we start from 2 because we don't want to check 1 and the same number itself, because obviously that will be divisible. So if all of the numbers that are generated by y are not divisible in x, then the number here is a prime number and it's continuously appended to the list, and then the whole thing is printed again. So this is a beautiful way to generate the prime numbers in one line. So let's execute this to see that it does generate the prime. So as you can see, it does generate the prime from 2 till 100. Now we can also do the same thing by using the filter and the lambda functions. So here the filter function, so filter takes two functions, one is the function and the other is the iterable. So here we take a number which is 101. So we generate numbers from 2 till the number that we have given. So this one generates the iterable, and then the filter function has a lambda. So which means, so the number generated here, so we generate the y here, and then we check if all of this, if all of this x, and where is this x generated? The x is generated from the range function here. So that is given as the x, and then x mod y, and where is the y generated? By this for loop. So x mod of y not equal to 0, and all of them should not be divisible. All the y that is generated in this for loop should not be divisible in the x that is generated from this range. If that is indeed the case, then we are talking about a prime number and we are converting into a list. So here we are continuously generating these numbers which acts as the iterable, and then this lambda function acts as the function which is used for filtering. So if you give a number till 50, then it's going to generate numbers till 50. So we have these two beautiful representation of the generation of prime numbers, one with the list comprehension and another with the filter function, which takes a lambda and an iterable which is generated by the range. And then here we have a very beautiful concept, which is the generation of perfect numbers. So a perfect number is one where the divisors for that, the numbers which are divisible or the factors for that particular number, if you add all the factors, you get the same number. If you sum all the factors, without the number itself, then you get the same number. For example, if you take the number 6, the factors of the number 6 are 1, 2 and 3, and 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 6. So similarly, if you take the number 28, the factors of number 28, so let's take the number 28. So the factors of 28 are 1, 2, 4, 7, 14. So if you add all this, you get 28. So there are only 4 numbers, interestingly, till 10,000 which actually are perfect numbers. So let's find what are they. Here we go. So we got the perfect numbers 6, 28, 496 and 8128. These are the perfect numbers till 1001. And you can see how we generated this. The outer for loop generates the numbers till 10,000. And then here we check for the condition. So there is a for loop here, and we check for the condition if x mod of y equal to 0. You sum all that factors, and if that sum equals the number generated here, then it's a perfect number, and all the perfect numbers are appended into a list. So we are using a list comprehension here. So similarly, we can have a one-liner for a Fibonacci series, so which is very interesting. So if n is less than 2, you just write the same number. So if n is less than 2, you give the same number, else you add n minus 1 and n minus 2, which means you add the previous number and the number before the previous number. You add both of that. Otherwise, you just give the same number, which is 0 and 1. And you run this through a for loop. And basically, this is the one-liner we are talking about. If n is less than 2, you give the same number. Otherwise, you add the previous number and the number before the previous number. So it's very intuitive to understand these one-liners. And please understand, one-liners use lambda functions, filter functions, and list comprehension also. So we use all the good features of Python to write these one-liners, and hence they are Pythonic, and sometimes they are faster than the for loop also. So here is a beautiful one-liner for finding the factorial of a number. As you can see, the factorial is x multiplied by y, and then the answer is stored in x, then again x multiplied by y. It keeps on recursively doing this till you get the number in the range, up to the number in the range, right? You multiply and then store it back to the number already given. So if you want, let's say we want to find till 5, so which will be 120. So there you go. So it's just multiplied and stored it back to the number, and then again it is multiplied and stored back, and so on. So this is how the factorial for a given number is generated, and it's a one-liner. And we use the reduce function, and reduce function is part of functools library in Python. So we use the reduce, we generate the numbers using the range, and then we use the reduce function to reduce it to a given number. So if you give 6, it is 720. So hope you got a decent idea about one-liners with these 5 simple but clear examples. So we have prime number generation, one with a list comprehension and one with a filter. One is a perfect number generation. The other ones are Fibonacci series and the factorial. Hope you liked this video. Please leave a like and subscribe. Please leave your comments in the comment section below for any other interesting video that you would like me to do. Thanks for watching.